Now we're heading into the Truth Hangout. This is where we have the conversation, and then we'll get to tell you about the things that happened in the world of gospel in the last 7 days. We're putting two of them together. How about that? And yes, I'm so glad to welcome you into this segment. It will be an amazing segment. In fact, what we're going to do today, away from what we do all the times, is that in the course of this, we will allow you to have a say in all of this. We'll need your feedback in all of that because we have a couple of stories lining up here, and your feedback will be super, super important at the end of the day. So yeah, welcome back. Still the Gospel Experience, and I'm your boy, your cousin, your nephew, the Call Me the Chief, and this is me reporting for duty, and I'm so glad to be back in here this morning. And yes, I'm not alone in this hood. I've always said that, and we sent Mary to go get a few things. She'll be back next Sunday. But while Mary is trying to get a few things out there, we have somebody else in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, please, where my bell at? Help me welcome the one and only. The one and only John Bassey.
I'm here today. Thank you so much for having me. Mm-hmm. It's nice to be here.
Oh yeah, so John Bassey is right here in the building, and he is a gospel artist.
Yeah.
For those of you that do not know, he's done a whole lot out there, and we're glad to welcome him. Yeah, he has a new stuff out. But before we talk about that, we will talk about a couple of other things happening around the world of gospel, because I don't want to call him a church boy, but he's been around the church scene for a bit. And so he also understands a couple of these things, how it happens, yeah?
All right.
Mm-hmm. So tell us just a little bit about yourself, John Bassey.
Okay, my name is John Bassey, formerly Mfoniso Bassey John. That's my full name, from a family of singers. My dad was a pastor, my mom a deaconess, and I'm into music, also a community builder. I love music, I love what I do. I'm also into business as well.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I like the part when you said your dad's a pastor, your mom a deaconess. Yeah, that's some peaky stuff. Yeah. I mean, we here, but why you not troublesome? You're supposed to be troublesome. I mean, that's what they say. They say that. Yeah, I mean, y'all back me up if you think I'm right. So they say that pastors' kids are usually very troublesome, and this is you hanging around doing gospel stuff. Are you supposed to do gospel stuff as a pastor's kid, or you're supposed to be troublesome? Which one?
Okay, to be troublesome, it depends on your context, what you're trying to say.
Like living a wayward life.
No. I'm not because.
But is it true that pastors' kids are wayward?
It's not true. I think it is an individual thing. You need to grow up to understand your purpose and what you were called to do. Not because your dad was a pastor, but you yourself, have you discovered yourself? Have you really asked God for direction? So I don't always believe the word that say that pastors' children are wayward. They don't grow up to be something, and they are all smoking and stuff like that. To me, I believe that it's about how your parents groomed you, and how you were brought up in the ways of God. Because I believe that if you were brought up properly, you will still have that consciousness of the fact that you are God's own. So your actions and what you do will always reveal who you are, and also knowing where you come from. Because to me, that was the important thing that kept me going. Knowing where I come from, who my father was, and knowing my place in God. So anytime that I would have wanted to go astray or do something negative, I would just, my dad is a pastor, for that name. That was what kept me going. Yeah.
Is it possible? Because I mean, like what you're saying now, and you're talking about upbringing and all of those things. Yeah, those are very important things.
Very important.
But is it also possible that a father and mother can take their time to groom the kids in ways they're supposed to go? You know what the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and then when he gets old, he will never depart from it. Yeah, the Bible said that. Yeah. But is it also possible that they'll take their time to train the child in the way they think the child should go, and then the child grows up and departs from what they said?
Very possible. Very possible.
But why is it so? Why should that happen?
Individual differences. What you want at the time. I believe that when you were much younger, everything revolved around what your parents asked you to do. You were not exposed to societal influence, and you have friends that you went to school. You see things happening differently. I believe that it's about self-discipline. Your parents could put in all they could to make you become someone and train you, but it is left for you as a person to understand yourself and to have self-discipline, saying no to things that you know that they are not good because of friends. I believe that it's about maturity. Your parents have done their part, but it is now left for you to decide. Bible says the power of life and death is in your tongue. Choose life that you may live. So it is about your choices in life as you grow older, because you tend to see life differently. You now have the mind of your own. You now have to make decisions on your own without asking anyone. So at that point, you are at liberty. You have freedom, because sometimes we now seem to abuse that freedom of decision making, when you grow up. So at that point, you still need to have self-discipline and the right mindset of who you are, so that it can guide you in whatever you are doing.
All right. So what you're saying, in essence, if I understand what you're saying, is that your parents can do a whole lot of work, but it also takes the child to follow up with what the parents said.
That's right.
And man, we just hope that a lot of other the PKs. When I say PK, I mean pastors' kids, preachers' kids. Will do the work that is supposed to be done. To get.
Quote me right. You may not necessarily need to be a pastor as a pastor's son or go into the ministry.
Yeah, that's another one, because people are saying, you're supposed to be a pastor.
No.
But I don't believe that.
No,
I don't believe that. All right, so let's get to talk about the things that happened in the world of gospel in the last 7 days. But I'm going to bring up one that happened maybe 8 days ago. I'm sorry, I just have to bring it. And that's talking about the fact that the pastor, Taiwo Odukoya, was laid to rest.
Yeah.
I think that was on Saturday.
Yes.
And it was a lot of top shots in the gospel scene that were there to to bid him farewell and pay their last respect to him. And we talked about this when we lost that man. Man, it's still heartbreaking till today.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, the fact that he's gone and we'll not have to, or we might not get to see him again.
The singing preacher and the dancing preacher.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about life is the fact that people will remember you for different things.
Yeah.
And, like you just, we're talking about him and you're saying the singing and dancing preacher.
Yeah.
For a couple of other people, it's something different.
Yeah.
So that always leaves me at the point where I ask myself, so when I die, what will be said about me?
That's true. Your legacy. It's very important that when you are alive, you need to know that one day you will not be in this world.
That's right.
And what could people remember when they call my name? Is very important.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so we move on to the next one, and it's the fact that according to reports, last week we talked about the fact that a pastor of the Christian Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Gandhi Laoye, was elevated. Should I use the word elevated? I don't know if that's the word to use, but he was crowned the Son of Ogbomosho, a traditional title. And according to reports, the pastor Enoch Adeboye had asked that he step aside so that he can really look into the new mandate that he has. And I remember last week it was a lot of talk about, should a pastor be involved in the traditional thing and all of those things. What's your take on that?
Okay, the days, as the days goes by, we tend to understand things differently. In the days of the Bible, David was a priest. He was also a king.
Yeah.
So right now, it depends on the foundation of being a king.
Yeah.
Those things that are done in your climb, the things that can promote God, because it is very important. David was a king because these people were the children of Israel and they believed in God. That means all the deed and everything was about God. So now if you want to be a king, like a ruler or obong, you need to look at the culture of the people. It is something that, it is different from the norm, like being a Christian, those things that would deter your faith in God. So if you look at those things and there is nothing that will, that is diabolic around it. It is about choice. If you feel that you can handle it as a king and also a priest, then it is left for you to decide. Is
it possible? Because when you talk about that, it gets me thinking about a lot of things, because people are saying that, traditionally, this is how it used to be.
Yeah.
There are certain diabolic things, according to what people say, that there are certain diabolic things that are involved or that, that are laid side by side with this some of these traditional
That's true.
tools.
That's true.
Yeah, and people are saying that being a king, taking that mandate would mean that at some point you have no choice but
Than
to you know
yeah, than to go what it is.
yeah that you have no choice than to toe the line
Yes,
of your forefathers.
you have to.
And I'm asking myself, what if the person decides not to go through that route? Does it make him a terrible person?
These things are quite complicating in the sense that what appeals to you might not be applicable to them. Now, before you took up the mantle of a king, you might have understood and you knew the culture of the land. So you can't come in and say you want to change it, because this is what has been done over the years. So it takes a whole lot to change the way things are done culturally. So if you had this understanding about how things are done and how the systems work in your climb, the traditional thing and all those stuff, and you had known all this while, that's what they do. And just coming in to say you want to change it, it takes a whole lot before that is done. And you need to be careful. Like they say, you need to be very careful on how you deal with these things, because these are things that have been passed down from one generation to the other. I believe that, to me, I wouldn't say that it is wrong to be a pastor and also to be a king, but I have to understand what is involved in being a king. What are the practices that are being carried out in my climb, to know if I can really go in. I'm not saying that everything that they're going to do will be diabolical. No, it is not. But you have to understand that tradition is best understood by its people.
Yeah.
So if you're not someone that has been there to understand how it is done, you may go there and you may be found wanting. So to me, it's about a personal, understanding of what you were really called for. If you are meant to work as a priest and also a pastor, or just to focus as being a pastor. So once you understand your unique purpose of calling, then you seek the face of God, and God will act, and God will direct you on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, from what you're saying, I'm now thinking to myself and saying, okay, maybe he has a role to play in that traditional setting.
Maybe an advisor.
Yeah, maybe God has a purpose, for why He wants him there. And if that's the case, big shout out to him. I mean, we wish him all of the best.
All the best.
Yeah, all the best, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a personal thing. All the best. All the best.
I agree because talking about it, I'm thinking about the Olu of Warri. Yeah.
Yeah, the young man.
Yeah, he was pretty young when he
Yeah.
ascended to that throne.
Yes.
And he did a whole lot. He flipped the pages, man. He did a lot of things that people were like, "Oh no, traditionally, no, we don't do it that way."
Yeah.
But for him, his faith was very paramount when it came to even at the level of the traditionals too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big shout.
Now for that, I believe that it's about the people. Do they love you? Are they willing to listen to you and be willing to change some things about what you guys have been doing?
Yeah.
So to me, if the people do not love you, they will fight against it. But there is always a way to get your people involved in what you are bringing to the table, something new. If you assume office as a king in a particular place and the people don't love you, don't accept you, it might be a problem.
I agree.
But if they see purpose, vision in you and what you bring to the table, I believe that the people will listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we pray for him and we ask that God will help him.
That's
and
true.
give him wisdom and vision as he leads the people of Ogbomoso.
Yeah.
And we move on to the next one. Oh, good God. I'm thinking of which of them do you do that? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a lot. I already said there's a lot happening around the world of gospel, so we'll try to reel out as many as possible.
That's right.
And there is a Catholic priest, Father Kelvin Ugo. He, a couple of weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I had posted a video on our platform about a couple of single ladies that were videoed wearing wedding gowns and praying for their husbands.
Okay. I saw that as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, huge. Now this Reverend Father is saying that no, that's totally wrong. That how can they do a thing? According to him, he called it disgusting, and he said it's a sign of desperation. And I remember that they tagged that host of faith testing.
Okay.
Like they were testing the dress in faith that their husbands were going to show up very soon.
Okay.
But for this Reverend Father, he says this is disgusting and it's a sign of desperation. How
Okay.
in this God's world can you do a thing like that that is not supposed to be? What do you think about that?
I believe it's about perception, personal perception about things. Now, I will take for example, when David was king and they were about to bring back the ark, he was dancing and his clothes, he was going naked, and Saul's daughter started saying some stuff about him, like mocking him, and how can you do that when you are a king? Now, at that point in time, she saw it differently. What David saw and made him dance the way he did, Saul's daughter did not see it. So now, what makes the priest to make this comment? I believe it's just about personal perception. How do you see things? People do things differently in the gospel world, in Christianity. There's some things that you would do, as a believer. To me, it doesn't appeal to me, not because I disdain it. It is because my own belief and my own way of assessing God does not approve of that. So it doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. It's about your own view, how you see it, because we are wired differently. The way I approach God daily to talk to him is not the same way that you do. So God responds to us differently. And when you discover how you can reach God and how God can respond to you, you do your own thing. Some people might just fast and things happen. Some may just pray and things happen. Some might just sing and things happen. Some might just talk to God in 5 seconds and things happen. So now that doesn't mean that you that spent hours in praying doesn't make it look like you are wasting your time. Maybe that's your own way of reaching to God. So if that's the pattern, those young ladies wanted to reach God and also to practice their faith, I believe there are different ways to this thing, and what is peculiar to you might not be applicable. That doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
It is just your own faith might be stronger and your own pattern might be different from theirs. So that's how I see it.
Do you think we live in a time in Christianity where people are being so judgmental? Now, let me read.
Yes.
Let me read what the Reverend Father said. He said, "It is now becoming a trend, and the more we keep quiet, it will soon be seen as normal." He said, to all those churches asking women to wear wedding gowns to church so that they can pray to have husbands, what you are doing is not Christian. Like he's very specific. He said, in fact, it is disgusting. What sort of desperation is this? Why are you not asking men to put on wedding suits and pray for wives? So that's what the Reverend Father said in the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get his point. But you need to understand one thing about the whole drama stuff in church and people bringing up programs. Now, you are a Catholic priest, and we have someone else that is into the gospel, like maybe a pastor. Now, that person might have had his own revelation about this, which is not you. So that person owns the sole explanation to this. You might just sit there and be judgmental, not knowing the purpose, not knowing the core and the details of why this is done. So that's why nowadays in the Christian world, we are too quick to judge people. And when you do that, you tend to neglect the place of love. Because when you love someone, you will not go all out to criticize. You can just call that person and like, okay, this is what I saw. Why do you do this? It's instead of going to the social media and try to raise the dust. So to me, I believe that if you are given a specific assignment, you are the one that really understands what the instructions are. I may not know what God told that person, if God truly told the person what to do.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on how that person sees it and the purpose of which that act is being carried out. And these things are recurrent stuff in the Christian world. Don't try to judge people, but get to just pray for them and just love on them, because criticizing people sometimes might not really bring out the love that we are trying to portray. God is about love and His love. So I believe that if I love you and I see something that you did that is not applicable to me, or that is not, should I say, in line with my thoughts and my views, all I can do is to pray for you. And if I have your contact, I can call you and talk to you one-on-one. Reach out. Then that person can now explain to you in details, this is how I felt, this is how I received this message. So it is just us just being focused on what you're doing, and don't always try to jump on the social media to criticize people. Yeah.
And I think that's what the social media has done for us, giving us that leverage or that liberty,
Yeah.
to say whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
You know what they say, social media is a leveler. So,
Okay.
yeah, it brings everybody into one spot. So,
Yes.
yeah, I can jump on my social media and insult the president and everybody thinks it's fine, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my God, there's so many things out here, and I fear that we're running out of time. Now,
Yeah,
I'm going to
we
put
are.
two things together.
Okay.
I'm going to put two things together. So, two clerics, Dr. Daniel Olukoya, that you know him, the senior pastor of the Mountain of Fire
Yeah.
ministry.
Yeah.
Yes, he said something. According to him, the people that were making prophecies, in the build-up to the 2023 election,
Okay.
that they were disgracing Christianity. That it was a disgrace to Christianity. Now let me read what he said. He said, "You see what happened in Nigeria during these last elections
Yeah.
disgraced the religion of Christianity very well. The prophets said this person would win and this would not win. If this one wins, I will become a herbalist. If this one wins, let them cut off my hand. If this one wins, let this die, let the other one, let me die, or, and all of those things. We saw all of those things happen. But according to him, he said, all did not come to pass. And they called themselves prophets. Prophet of where? It is madness when you begin to say what God did not, or what God does not ask you to say. The pulpit in the house of God is the pillar and the ground of truth. It is not for political campaigns. Yeah, that's what he said. According to him, it was a crazy thing that happened.
All right.
Yeah,
so it's quite. I need to be very careful with this. Response to this. Pastors that would say, okay, this is what God told me about elections, the outcome of elections. Okay, yeah, God said it, but did you listen to God quite well? Is that
Did
what
God say
said?
it?
Or did you just follow your instincts or your emotions to say it? We have a place in life that you need to understand when your emotions is the one talking. And we will be able to discern if it is God or not. And for you to come out and say God said it and it didn't happen, what are you trying to say? That means you are bringing a form of disregard to God, because if God said anything, that means it will come to pass.
That's right.
So we need to be guided. I wouldn't call them, they didn't hear from God, but I just believe that you need to be guided in the things you say, the things you call God name into, because you are making God look so, small and so cheap that, people that should believe in God, and people are looking up to you. For example, you have followers that are in your church that are looking up to the things you say. And in our climb, we tend to listen more to what pastor says, and when we believe, because we believe that they are oracles from God. But God also speaks to you as well, because we are the carriers of God. We are the temple of God as well. So we need to at the point come to the place that every Christian knows God for him or herself. You need to hear from God yourself. Now try every spirit. And that means you shouldn't just accept whatever comes because this person is a pastor. You need to, in the place of discernment, if this is from God, is this what God is saying? After they might have said whatever I've said, it is left for you to, on your own personal terms, go to God. I'm like, okay, God, what do you say? What did you say?
I want to put that side by side with what the Bishop Utwekon, Bishop Utwekon could.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the Methodist Bishop of Atamunu Diocese, that's in Cross River State, and then he has accused the ruling class of recycling themselves, in politics. This one wins election and then he drags the other one. Yeah. I remember, when I saw that story, it took me back to where it's sometime, I think it was in Russia, when Putin was the president. Yeah. Medvedev, I'm trying to remember his first name. Medvedev was the prime minister, and Medvedev became the president. Putin became the prime minister. And all of that. Now, he's saying that the ruling class that's talking about the politicians, they're just recycling themselves and not bringing the kind of value that they're supposed to bring, to the people as it stands right now. Do you think? Can you say for sure that you're getting the value that the political class are supposed to bring? Do you think they're bringing the value to the system as they're supposed to?
It's about the people. Now, do we have a voice as a people? Will your voice be heard when you're trying to make contributions to the governance of wherever you come from? That's where we should always start from. Are we united as a people to speak in one voice? Now, we have leaders, that are in power, and there will always be systems, there will always be cliques, there will always be levels to this thing. Now, these people over the years have been able to form synergy and know how to rotate this thing around themselves, the power play thing. Now, for you to be able to hold them accountable, do you have the right pattern, the right structure, the right avenue to pass your message across and your voice to be heard? Now, it is not about sitting down to criticize these guys. Yeah, we may have reasons of doing that, but you need to understand how these things work. I have been a counselor before.
I remember that.
You need to understand how these systems work. Some of us, we just want to sit out there and talk and just make contributions, but do you really understand how politics work in Nigerian politics? Do you know the patterns, the structures, the way it is? Because if you don't understand how these things work, you don't have anything to contribute. You don't have a way to, stand from your point of view to correct things. So first of all, we need to understand how these things work. How is it connected? How do they play it out?
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you were a counselor,
Yeah.
in your time as a counselor in your local government,
Yeah.
what were the lessons? Now you're a counselor. You're a young person.
Yeah.
You're also a Christian.
Yeah.
Now, what were the lessons that you learned from there that you would want? Because a lot of people listening out there that would want to get into politics, that want to also get out there. Because for some people, they believe that if I get to a certain level, I can serve the people in a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
So for people that are looking in that direction, what did you learn from the system that you want to pass out to them? Maybe like in 1 minute, and we see how.
For me, what I learned was character, how to create and be positive in my character, because a lot of things would try to deter you, would try to make you to get out of your character and respond to issues with your emotions. Now, leadership for me, I learned a lot about leadership, how to relate with people of diverse mindset. Someone will go to the social media and just write stuff about you and things that are not even true. Now, how do you handle those things? Do you come out to fight that person or bring police? No. So to me, I grew in understanding leadership better and how to relate with everyone despite your background, despite your behavioral pattern, and to know the real deal about leadership, leading people. And my own contribution to my climb when I was a counselor was, trying to make our young people understand that you don't just need to wait for the government to do stuff for you. You can start somewhere, wherever you are, and the government can support you. So I laid out structures like I did some stuff like free medical outreach for pregnant and nursing mothers. I did that, and I also helped to give out some small loans to people, like support for their trade. Those are the young people that I also try to reach out to. So to me, I used that office to really understand what do my people need.
So you're not cycling nothing. Like you're not recycling yourself with giving to your friends and all of this, because he said something like they exist in all political parties, switching parties at will and conferring largesse to those they deem suppliants. That's youth, clergy, and then women. I mean, whichever way you look at it. But because I wish we had all the time in the world to talk about this.
Some people see politics as a way of reward for service and loyalty. So whether you are qualified,
is that right or wrong?
You have to understand what kind of reward or should I give for this loyalty. Do I need to bring this person into power to give him an office because I want to reward him or pay him for the loyalty? You need to understand which area should I reward this person.
Now let me put you on the spot. Let me put you on the spot right this minute. Yeah. So in the advent of this particular government that's talking about the government at the state level.
Yes.
We remember when it was time for the commissioners, to be when the list went and everything. Yeah. And it turned out to be that most of the people on that list, if not all of them, I think let me say most of them
Yeah.
on the list were people that served in the last government.
Okay.
And then the question was asked to the governor, why do you have the same set of people on the list? And the governor said that these were the people that went through the trenches with him, the people that worked really hard for his emergence as the governor. And so, there was that thing around reward and all of those things.
Okay.
Now, it got a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
People said, how can he do that? I mean, being a pastor and being all of that, knowing everything that he already knows, working in the private sector and all of those things. People ask the question, why should he think in that direction? Shouldn't he have looked for competent people? Because for some people, they believe that there are some of these people that shouldn't have come back. That was in public space. No, so do you think that that level of reward is what should have been?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Why will I say so? Because these guys have been in the government before and know that this is a new government.
Yeah.
You can't just start up something new without bringing hands that have been there, that understands you, that have worked with you. And the governor, as at then, when he was on the governor, he has been with these people, he has worked with them. So he understands their ability, number one. He understands, they read his mind, because they have been with him throughout, I think it was a year plus. They have been there in the campaign and they understand his mind and what he wants to do. So now, if you want to reward these guys and give them an office, because they have been with you, you have been able to ascertain their level of knowledge and understanding about what you want to do. So if they fit in with your own ideologies and your own pattern, then why not go ahead and give them the office?
Okay, so
was it.
That's what he's saying. Okay,
yeah, he was right. He's right.
All
to
right.
Reward, because, like I said from what I said before, the reward for service has two ways. Now, if these people are qualified to serve, then you can give them that reward. And that's for me.
All right.
Is it?
All right, so we move away from there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish we had all the time in the world. I'll say that a million times.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your music. Then we'll come back to one thing before we get. Let's talk about your music. You have a new song out.
Yeah.
A Come.
Woo.
Talk to me about it.
All right. A Come is a song that extol and expound on God's faithfulness. And last year, I was just cleaning my apartment and this song dropped in my spirit. And I started singing the song, the chorus, for all that you have done and all that you would do. And towards last year, I also went to the studio and started recording the song. And I was almost 80% complete with the song, and everything crashed. The system crashed, and I lost all the raw files of the song. But earlier this year, my eldest sister, in the month of May, fell ill, and she was brought to the hospital. And I was the only sibling around, and my mom to take care of her. So I was just shoveling around, hospital, the house, to attend to her. And that week that she was in the hospital, I had leading to go to the studio and record A Come all over again. So that week, I think it was on a Monday or Tuesday, I went to the studio, started recording A Come. And the weekend of that week, my sister passed on. She died.
Wow.
She died on a Saturday. And in that place of pain, in that place of chaos and despair, and asking God so many questions and being confused, I had a voice that said, go back and complete that song.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So after 2 days, after she died, I went back to the studio and I started recording A Come again. At that place of uncertainty, that was when I had the leading to record the song. Now, what message is God trying to pass across to his people? That means regardless of your seemingly challenges of life, what you are going through in life right now, it shouldn't stop you from praising him, because God has done stuff for us before that we overlooked, and we didn't even take it into consideration that God has done this. So right. that song says, for all that you have done and all that you would do, boy, come means take all the praise. That means if God has done anything for you before, your present situation should not make you forget about God and the things that he has done. It shouldn't hold back your praise. If I could, record a song in the midst of pain that my sister passed on.
That's crazy.
That I think that's the highest level of pain, to lose a loved one.
Of course.
And in that place of pain, that was when the song came. And I had all the time and all the reasons not to record the song, but that was the main reason why God made me to record the song. So this song is a song of thanksgiving. Right now in the country, things are kind of challenging. People are complaining about hardship, all the pains and issues and trials, temptations everywhere. And it is enough reason for you as a person to take your mind off God and start asking God questions. Why are things like this? But instead of you asking questions, instead of you trying to sort out things yourself, just keep praising God. And also, as a state, this month is our month of anniversary. As a state. So to me, this song is also to add value to the state and also say, God, thank you for keeping us as a people. And because you have done these things for us before, we are hopeful of the things you would do for us as a state. So this song is all encompassing. It's a song of thanksgiving, a song of praise. And the most important thing is that regardless of what you're going through right now, don't hold back your praise.
So where can people get this song? Because I know it's a lot. In fact, no, don't even say it first. Let me play the song, and you know what? Y'all confusing me right now. Okay, let me play this song. Then when we come back, I'll take your calls. All right. So yeah, John Bassey, welcome back.
Thank you, brother.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask you, where can people get this song? Because it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, this song is available on all streaming platforms, on Spotify, Audiomack, Boomplay, iTunes, Apple Music. But you can just go on my social media handle and the link is there. So just check me out on Instagram at I am John Bassey. At I am John Bassey. Or you go to the website. The song has its own website.
Okay.
www.ecom-music.com or just
ecom-music.com.
Yeah, ecom-music.com. But just go to any platform and just search Ecom by John Bassey. You'll see it there.
So guys, you've heard it.
It's very simple.
Go look for Ecom by John Bassey,
and you will see it there too.
Yeah, that's a song right now, man. That's a song of that's your early morning song. That's your late night song.
Hallelujah.
That's your every time song, guys. Go look for it. Ecom by John Bassey featuring Peterson Okopi.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, 0905, take the call for me. Let's talk to this person. Hello, good morning. What happened? Lord have mercy, them people. Okay, so 0905-995-1059 or 0818-222-9105. Hey, good morning.
Yes, that's it. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for sticking around with us. Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Imodua calling you from Ibiono.
All right, Imodua, what do you want to say? You want to say something about this?
Yes, I really enjoy the
conversation.
The way he gives his analysis, I really enjoy, and the beautiful song there. I'm also ready to play your game.
Okay, so you're gonna play the game in the next. We have like another 5 minutes before you play the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so you call back during the game.
For it.
Yeah. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Oh no, I'm sorry, man. You have to call back. The phone line is not behaving well. That particular phone line is not behaving well. So you can call back 0905-995-1059. Hey, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Ed from Sudan.
All right, you want to contribute? Can you walk away from your radio?
I've done that.
Okay, so let's go. Contribute.
Yeah, I want to contribute. I'm so happy to hear what that guy is saying.
He's a great guy.
So I'm so happy for that song.
Thank you.
I will download the song.
Please do.
I like the song.
Go download the song. Thank you.
God bless you.
Let's go. Hey, good morning. Oh yeah, we lost that particular call. So call back. Let's hear from you. We want to hear from you. You can contribute to any of the things we talked about before now. So we have a couple of minutes before we get to that. Hey, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you on the show. What's your name?
Yeah. This is Akwan calling from Uyo.
All right, Akwan, can you walk away from your radio so we have a smooth conversation?
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, it is. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to thank the guests in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And you people have had a nice discussion.
Yeah.
But I want to say that I have seen so many chieftaincy institutions where they do not do ritual.
Oh, okay.
So they only pray.
Mm-hmm.
They do not pour
Libations, okay.
So if a man of God goes into it, he can avoid all those rituals.
All right.
And for the prophecy, God does not show people fraudulent prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
God can tell you this man will win the election. Mr. A will win the election.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. B can go and buy the election. God will not show you the person who will buy the election.
Oh.
He can only show you the person who will win the election.
So you're saying that God will tell you that one person will win the election, then the other person goes to buy the election.
Yes, because
All right, thank you.
if you are to win the election,
Yeah.
God will show a man of God that you are going to win the election.
Yeah.
But I can go and buy it.
Oh, okay. No problem. Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
finally,
Uh-huh.
marriage is an earthly thing. Anybody who wants to marry should conduct herself very well. Going to church and wearing a wedding gown to go and pray will not pray somebody's husband.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have more callers. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right, so 0905-995-1059. We're going to take maybe 2 more calls before we switch into something else this morning. Yeah, so hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. Welcome. John Bassey is in the building. Mm-hmm.
Oh, John Bassey.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, bro.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Deacon from Ona.
All right, Deacon, let's go.
Please, I must confess that I so much enjoy your program this morning.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And I thank your guest. So much.
He's a good
Thank
man.
I also, I'm sorry about the death of his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Please accept my condolence.
Thank you so much.
I love all what you guys are doing in the studio.
We
you are really enlightening us. You are educating us so much.
We thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Carry on.
Thank you very much. All right, we take one more call and then we're out of here. Not like out of here, but we switch into something else. And then that's the call that we're waiting for. Hey, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Inspiration family.
Good morning. Thank you very much for sticking around with us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Joseph Ansah, AWMB from. I'm calling from Ibano.
All right, Joseph, let's go. We have John Bass in the building.
Yeah, I love your guests. I love the songs.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't know if I can maybe get to him because I also have some songs as well in the offering.
Okay.
And I also want to finally use this opportunity to support what one of the callers said.
Okay.
It is possible that God can reveal who becomes what, and He will also tell you, see, this thing, somebody will grab it from that person. It happened, and it has, in fact, it was revealed, and we saw it. So it's very possible. Thank you.
All right, so thank you. That's the last call. So John Bassey, now this is what we're talking about. I remember a couple of weeks ago, months ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but the Pastor Paul Adefarrison was trending. And he was trending because people went ballistic on him. He said something. He said that Saul will come first. That's talking about the elections.
Yeah.
He said Saul will come first, and then David comes after. So people were so angry. How can he say that? Like we suffered so much under the government of Buhari, and why are you saying that we're going to suffer again? People went really crazy on
that.
him. Oh, you heard that,
Yeah,
right?
I heard that, yeah.
How did that make you feel? Oh yeah, first that's your pastor, yeah.
To me, I just let it be because I don't know what to say with that, because that's my pastor, and he made those comments, and for me, people need to really understand what led to this statement.
Yeah.
The Bible says don't just pick up one of the verse. Get to the context. Read the whole chapter of the Bible to understand his point of view. So I believe people would just pick out what they want to jump on, to criticize, without getting through the entire sermon or getting to the entire thing, his thought at that time, what he was trying to say. So to me, I believe that everyone, they have their own right to criticize and to their own views, which I can't influence.
Of course.
So it is left for you to understand what he said differently as a person. That doesn't have anything to do with his mindset or what he said. So it is your responsibility is to interpret what you heard on your own terms. I don't owe you that responsibility to understand what I said.
Okay, so let's now, in closing, 1 minute. In closing, what would you say to the people?
All right, people. I believe that in times like this, you may have a reason to, be broken and laid down. But I want to let you know that God is the ultimate in life, because He is the source and the giver of life. So in everything you do, don't lose hope on who is your source, and that is God. That's all.
All right, so thank you very much, John Bassey, for showing up.
Thank you.
And let me play the ending of this. Then we'll come back and we play the game right this minute. Don't go anywhere.